Please welcome Sharsheret Long Island Coordinator, Rebecca Cohen.
Thank you again for joining us this evening. We have all just experienced two of the hardest years in memory, 2 years of isolation where we haven't had the opportunity to gather together. For those going through cancer, this experience was even more devastating. Please turn your attention to the screen as we reflect on the past 2 years and look towards a healthier future.
What started as a handful of volunteers is now Sharsheret, the National Jewish Breast and Ovarian Cancer Community, a premier national organization and leader in the cancer community for cultural relevant support and a model for others. 2 decades since its founding, Sharsheret's impact is diverse and inclusive.
Sharsheret is here to help in every step of the way.
For patients and caregivers, Sharsheret increases access to care through free virtual mental health services, patient navigation, and genetic counseling. Support is available at all stages, before, during, and after diagnosis, as well as for those living with advanced cancer.
One of the biggest things from a Sharsheret perspective was just to be able to connect with other women with advanced cancer, because you don't really get it until you get it.
Sharsheret distributes $400,000 to $500,000 to low-income patients annually for non-medical services.
I felt like a person. Something feels just a little bit normal.
As an expert in the field, Sharsheret partners with major medical centers, government agencies, and social service agencies, training and educating healthcare professionals. In the community, Sharsheret saves lives through virtual and in-person educational programming for both women and men of all ages, from high school and college campuses to synagogues and community organizations, empowering each person to take control of their health.
The most important thing I learned is that you absolutely must be proactive about your health.
Over the last 2 years, Sharsheret served over 85% more patients and caregivers than in prior years. We need your partnership to ensure Sharsheret can meet this ever-growing demand.
To be able to be a part of the Sharsheret network, to pay back, is tremendously empowering.
Become a Sharsheret supporter so we can be here for this generation and the next, facing breast cancer and ovarian cancer.
You can still enjoy life day by day.
At some point in your life, you or someone you love will need Sharsheret. Now is the time to act, to step up. Be part of the Sharsheret movement today and join our forces in Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, securing a healthier future for the Jewish community and beyond.
You just got a glimpse into how hundreds of women, men, and families benefit every day from Sharsheret's free and confidential emotional support, mental health counseling, and life-saving education. You learned about how the $500,000 that we give away each year in financial subsidies changes lives. I know there are dozens of women and families in this very room tonight who have also benefited from Sharsheret programs and services. This evening, we are very fortunate to recognize an exceptional woman who will inspire us as she shares her personal Sharsheret story. Please join me in welcoming Adel Miller.
Thank you, Rebecca, for your warm introduction. I want to first thank my immediate family for all your love and support during my cancer journey. Yoni, Eitan, and Zach, who are here with us tonight, and Eliana, who unfortunately couldn't get home from camp, all of you fill my life with such joy and vitality. Your warmth and daily smiles make each day so special and rewarding. You give me so much nachas, and I'm so proud of all of you. Charlie, I'm so lucky that you're my partner in life. You have always been there for me, held my hand through my surgeries and supporting me in everything I've been through. We've climbed mountains together. I love you. To my siblings, Chani Benji, Robin Stewie, Susie Steve, Amy Yaakov, and David, thank you all for your love and support you give to me. You know how much it's appreciated, and we only share in smachot together, including the wedding next week of Josh to Chaya. Additionally, to all my friends, I will not name you individually, but you've been a tremendous support to me during all my trials and tribulations, along with all the good times. I am so lucky to have you all in my life. I want to specifically thank the entire Sharsheret team, who's worked tirelessly for this mission. I'm honored to be part of the Sharsheret family. Tonight, I'm here to share with you my journey through my breast cancer diagnosis, my treatment, and my recovery. I also want to share with you how helpful Sharsheret has been for me throughout my ordeal. I started having my annual mammos when I turned 40. I was pretty good about getting them every year around the same time. However, in the last number of years, life was quite busy, and by the time I got around to making the appointments, it sometimes stretched longer than 1 year. In 2019, I was scheduled for my mammo in May, with the appointment being made months in advance. As an HR professional, 2 days before my appointment, I received a notification that I needed to attend an unemployment hearing for a terminated employee on the same day as my mammo exam. With the hearing in Brooklyn and my mammo appointment in Long Island, I was not going to have enough time to attend both. I called to see if I can move my mammo appointment, but they had no appointments available in the near term. Up until that morning, I was trying to decide what to do. In the end, I decided to go to my mammo appointment, and it was a good thing I did. A number of years ago, my radiologist started adding sonograms during my visit because I had dense breasts, and women who have dense breasts are recommended to have sonogram in addition to a mammogram. So after my mammo, I was brought back in for additional pictures. This wasn't unusual, so I didn't think anything of it. My motto in general is, why worry about something before there is a reason to? After the sonogram, the radiologist came in and wanted to look at additional views. At this point, I realized something was going on. She told me she saw something she didn't like and was fairly certain it was cancerous and that I would need a biopsy. I was shocked by the news, but I wasn't going to freak out until the biopsy results came back. Unfortunately, the results of the biopsy confirmed I had stage 1 breast cancer. I remember driving on Central Avenue when I got the news. I felt the world was swirling around me, and I couldn't believe that this was happening to me. My husband and I had a lot going on in our lives at the time. Our son had just been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes a few months prior to this, and all I could think of was that I needed to be okay for him and the rest of my family. The crazy thing was that one of my older sisters had breast cancer the year before. She is 12 years older than me and was 61 at the time. She had no genetic markers, and it was stage 0. So at that time, my other sister and I were not nervous that we might get breast cancer. But there I was with breast cancer at age 49. Thankfully, it had not spread to my lymph nodes, and I did not need chemo, just lumpectomy and 7 weeks of radiation. I was lucky and had a quick recovery from the lumpectomy and was able to handle the radiation. A number of months later, I needed to start the post-cancer medicine regimen that included letrozole for the next 5 years. Before taking letrozole, I needed to be placed into menopause. This meant I needed monthly shots to put me in menopause. Mind you, I was fine with going into premature menopause and all that goes with it, but I didn't want to go through these shots every month for 5 years. The doctor said she would discuss alternatives to the monthly shot. It was at this point of my diagnosis, with decisions that still need to be made, that I tapped into Shasheret. I reached out to them, and they put me in touch with a wonderful social worker. Over the course of the year, she touched base with me to see how I was doing and provide me with guidance. It was a crazy year. COVID had hit us in March of 2020. I had COVID that month, and around the same time, my mother passed away. It was unreal what was going on in the world. Nonetheless, I was very grateful that my surgery and radiation treatment was completed prior to COVID. In the spring of 2020, the doctor recommended I have an oophorectomy to remove my ovaries and fallopian tubes. I had a number of questions and wanted to speak with somebody who had a similar situation. Shasheret put me in contact with a woman who undergone the procedure, and I was able to get more information from her. In August 2020, I had the oophorectomy and thankfully had a quick recuperation. All along, Shasheret was there for me to offer their complete support. So here I am, 3 years post my diagnosis, and thankfully doing great. I still have another 2.5 years on letrozole, but all my mammos and sonos thus far have been clear. While I have to deal with some of the side effects of the letrozole, such as joint pains, I am grateful that I caught the breast cancer at an early stage. Shasheret was there for me, and I'm honored and privileged to be able to give back to Shasheret and to assist others in their own ordeals. I've agreed to be a peer supporter for women going through similar situations, and most importantly, I've been a voice of encouragement to everyone having annual mammo examinations. My message to leave you with this evening is, do not delay. Make timely appointments and keep them. If I had not done so, who knows what stage my cancer would have been once finally detected. Share this message with your family and friends. May we all be zoche to merit to live lives of good health, happiness, and success, and may we be privileged to enjoy beautiful moments with our families, friends, and loved ones. Thank you.
Please welcome Shasheret Director of Development, Galit Reichlin.
Thank you, Adel, for sharing your personal story, your Shasheret story with us. You've inspired us to prioritize our health and to contact Shasheret when we need it most. At Shasheret, we know there is more to be done for those who still need our help. Tonight, we have a very special opportunity. Shasheret was awarded a significant challenge match from a Jewish foundation. For Shasheret to complete the challenge, we have to raise another $25,000. So I now turn to each of you and ask you to help us make that match so we can change a life, just like Adel's. So whether you've already made a gift or tonight would be your first, whether you can give $180, $1,800, or $18,000, or tonight become a member of our Jewel Circle, which someone actually came up to me to tell me that they are, with a gift of $5,000 or more, do all you can and even a little bit more. You can do this right now on your phone. You can text 22 BBQ to the number 44321, that's also up on the screens, and follow the instructions. Again, text 22 BBQ to the number 44321. Now, it's come to my attention that cell reception may be a little choppy here, so we have a solution for you. If it's not working on your phone, at your table, in the middle of your table, are pledge cards and pens. You can complete the donor card on the table, and a member of Shasheret's team will collect your card. Just hold it in the air, and a member of our team can collect it from you. Thank you all so very much. Together, we can make this match, changing lives one family at a time. Each year, Shasheret carefully selects individuals with outstanding volunteer contributions to receive the prestigious Lisa Altman Volunteer Tribute Award. Lisa was a Sharsheret volunteer whose sterling qualities were evident in the last gift she gave to all of us, the concept of coming together for a meaningful event as a way to thank her mother, her sister, and her friends for all that they had done for her during her illness. This year's well-deserved recipients of the Lisa Altman Volunteer Tribute Award have dedicated their lives to the Jewish community. As the esteemed Rabbi and Rebbitzin of Great Neck Synagogue, my hometown shul, they have guided and cared for the women, men, and families in our shul for 34 years. And their efforts and compassion extend beyond the shul to the community at large. For more than 2 decades, they have dedicated their volunteer efforts to help Sharsheret to improve more lives and save lives. Please join me in welcoming Rabbi Dale and Ellen Polikoff as they share their own Sharsheret story with all of us.
Ellen and I are honored tonight to be the recipients of the Lisa Altman Volunteer Tribute Award. We didn't know Lisa, but the creation of this award testifies to Lisa's strength and determination as a volunteer for Sharsheret, who herself passed away from breast cancer. We would like to acknowledge the presence of Deborah and Maury Klein, Lisa's sister and brother-in-law, and Barbara and David Goldenberg, Lisa's brother and sister-in-law, and their children. We'd also like to congratulate our fellow honoree, Adel Miller, on her incredible story and thank her for sharing that with us. And thank Menachem Pinter for his siyum tonight, right on the cusp of the 6th of Av. Sharsheret has been an important organization to us from the beginning. Who couldn't be swept up in the enthusiasm of Ruchi Shoretz? Who couldn't be impressed by the nearly single-minded devotion of this powerhouse of a person to fix something that was missing from our community?
Unfortunately, it was an organization that needed to be, and its funding and creation of a network of fellow travelers in this world of cancer made imminent sense. But for a rabbi and a rebbitzin, there are lots of important organizations and inspiring people. There are lots of good causes to support and lots of organizations whose existence benefits our Jewish community. Clearly, Sharsheret is one of them. But for us, tonight isn't about supporting just another important organization. Tonight is about something more than that. Tonight is about something personal. On November 11th, 2019, our daughter-in-law Shoshana was diagnosed with breast cancer. Like so many others, our family was not a stranger to cancer.
Ellen's mother, Lenny, Zichrona Livracha, of blessed memory, passed away from breast cancer in 1997 at the age of 72. And my first wife, Gail Zichrona Livracha, of blessed memory, passed away from gallbladder cancer in 1999 at the age of 42. Both of them were very strong women, very much loved by their family and friends, and still very much missed today. But in 1997 and 1999, there was no Sharsheret. Baruch Hashem, in 2019, there was. We encouraged Shoshana to reach out to Sharsheret, but she had already taken those first steps. We knew what Sharsheret was, but like so many others, until our family needed Sharsheret's services, we didn't quite know how Sharsheret could help.
Sharsheret helped us all to understand the ins and outs of a cancer diagnosis. They helped to dim the shock and increase the focus on what needed to be done and what could be done by those of us not on the front lines. Shoshana's children received the famous Sharsheret Busy Box. It helped to alleviate the pain and distract them from seeing their mother lose her hair. The Busy Box was a way to show the kids that Sharsheret was there for them as well, and that they were not alone either.
Shoshana herself was able to connect with fellow cancer warriors, getting chizuk, strength, and giving some back in the process. Social workers and genetic counselors were available to her at no cost, there to answer her questions and help guide her on this journey. On October 17th, 2021, Ellen organized Team Shoshana to participate in the ACS Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk. While our daughter-in-law walked in Central Park, a team of women from our shul showed up on that Sunday morning at Jones Beach to help raise money for Sharsheret. And I got to design the Team Shoshana bibs that they wore. My revered teacher, Rav Soloveitchik Zecher Tzadik Livracha of blessed memory, believed that suffering in this world cannot be explained. His response to suffering was that of destiny, not fate, opposing any attempt to explain it, but instead focusing on what can be done to alleviate the suffering. As we are just a few days away from yet another observance of Tisha B'Av, the day we mourn the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, of the temples, and with it the cumulative sufferings of the Jewish people throughout the millennia, there is clearly much that remains to be done. What can still be done should be our focus. What can be done is the focus and the mission of Sharsheret.
On Wednesday, June 15th, 2022, Shoshana marked her second year of being cancer-free. In her words, I am grateful. I am grateful to Hashem, to God. I am grateful to you who supported me. I am grateful for my friends and community. I am grateful for my amazing medical team. I love you all.
And we are grateful for Sharsheret. When Shoshana was raising money for Sharsheret's Rosh Hashanah campaign, her son Jack, who was then 5 years old, went into his room, took a quarter, and gave it to his mother to send in. That was meaningful for him. But we can all do a lot better than that. Please help Sharsheret to continue doing what they do so well, to help others. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ellen and Rabbi Palikoff, and thank you all for joining the Sharsheret movement tonight.